You have
This meeting is being recorded.
free reign, brother. You can fire away.
Great stuff. Thanks a lot, Lionel. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Other
This weekend, you will force. You will have most probably Lucanio Am and Ron Janssen van Rensburg as your direct opponents. A much more physical approach than those of the Stormers.
yeah, obviously it's that they pose a different challenge. So obviously I'm looking forward to to playing against them, and they are some of the best centers in the world. So different threat, yes, but we are preparing well, and we're looking forward to it.
But do you prepare for a more physical onslaught from them, or yeah?
No, we know that they are going to be physical. Obviously, we know that they can play with a little bit of flair. So there's both of those aspects. So it's going to be tough. We thought the Stormers was tough. I think this coming weekend is probably more physical, or in a sense more physical. Yeah.
And what have you guys changed to ensure that you bring a win with from Durban? Because I mean, it's important to win this weekend.
Yeah, we can only focus on ourselves. I think we let ourselves down last week. There was a time in the game there, a couple of minutes where the Stormers scored a couple of tries, and that's something that we can actually control. A few of those tries, obviously. So we focusing this week on ourselves and what we want to do, and where we can get better as a defensively as a group. So we actually looking forward to it. We know it's a big match. We know it's gonna. We want to win the match. So we're preparing accordingly.
Lunga, that's about it for me, huh?
All right,
That's
cool.
it. Thanks, Carl.
Lionel,
Thanks a lot. Sorry for that.
No, it's all good.
maybe you could also just speak to managing expectations. There's fan expectations, then there's team expectations,
Yeah.
and then there's expectations of South African rugby when you're looking at the two competitions.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you go about managing those expectations?
Yeah, see, that's where you'll probably lose the plot, because I think for us, or for me and for us as a group, we're trying to focus on. We went in with the plan last week, it didn't work, so we let ourselves down. We obviously know we let our fans down, but we first have to fix ourselves. Yeah, we first have to come on the field. Yeah, we have to go through it again, go through all that again, all that training, what we planned for. Hopefully, hopefully when we get through the week, we know that we feel comfortable enough at the end of the week, say coming game day, to play and play a good brand of rugby. It's not like we went out there Saturday to just like switch off, in that period of the game, because there was a period that he scored like 3 tries where we looked at the video, and it's like something we can manage. It's like that should not have happened. We could have done this, we could have done that. So yeah, it's just on ourselves to be better than what we were, and not have that lapse of concentration.
Sure. There's been a lot of people who have spoken a lot about the 2 week rest that some of the squad members enjoyed, whilst the other squad members traveled to Europe. How important was that rest for you, especially knowing just how intense the traveling arrangement is from Doha into Europe?
No, for me, it's like, I would say it worked really well for me, obviously, because you get the rest and it's still a long competition. So you can, I mean, the coach, you have the option to play the guys the whole time and then dry them out before the end of the competition. And there's another competition like the Champions Cup. So, and there's a lot of traveling involved there. So by the time, say, we make the playoffs, we're going to be drained out. So we're not going to have any like, we're not going to have good rugby left in us, say, come playoffs. So it's just, obviously they are trying to manage us to get the best for the team. And in the long run, we all buy into the coach's plan. And in the long run, it will work out.
Sure. Um, maybe just switching gear now, speaking about, I watch how you guys interact as a group and at training, just how much time you spend with Cornell Hendricks, for example. Um, the other time I watched how you were simulating game situations with Ken and Moody. What are some of those relationships that you have with some of the squad members, especially guys that you play with in the back line, and how important are they in helping create just that understanding between yourselves when it comes to game time?
Yeah, no, I think my role in the team is a bit broader than I would like to expect. It's obviously with Cornell, me and him are roommates, so we are together a lot of times and we talk together a lot of times, and also a lot of times we talk rugby. And obviously, we're not too old to learn, so we still learn from each other. Uh, when I obviously speak to the young guys, I try, because I was also a wing in my younger days, so I try to obviously help them where I can, and obviously they also have their own way of how they think or the game is. So I try to just like give my 10 cents to them and see if I can help them, or if that advice that I give to them can help them on the field.
Um, just as someone who's played this game for such a long period of time, how special are the talents in someone like Ketlier and say Wandi Similane, Kenan Moody, and a whole other list of young players that you are surrounded by at the Vodacom Bulls?
No, it's crazy. They have, yes, they have boatloads of talent. They are really good players. All the guys you name now, they are really good players. Uh, I played with Wandy also at the Lions. Coming here, I played with Kaini and Curtly them. Yeah, and they just inspire me again. It's like it's rolling back to years, thinking to where I was their age. So what I was that fast at some point in my life. I was that fast. Now it's just like now they just like they just inspire me at this moment, and they have so much talent, to play, and they like have a long career ahead of them. And I can only obviously, like I said, help them where I can, give them advice where I can, which will help them a little bit if they do take it.
Um, Someone once
Lunga?
said that, yes, Carl.
No, after you're done, I've also got one question, please.
Cool, go for it, Carl.
Um, the importance of the Currie Cup is disappearing very quickly, because it seems like the matches is going to be played on Wednesdays, and your top players are not going to participate in the Currie Cup anymore. How important was the Currie Cup in your development, and how important do you feel the Currie Cup? Yeah, the younger players, obviously, or the top younger players, will also miss out on the Currie Cup. Do you think it's important to still have a prime or premier local product and cup to play for?
No, definitely. I definitely think that's it's very important for us to still have the Currie Cup. So now, obviously, we're playing in 2, 3 different competitions now. Where the young guys come in now, they go play into Currie Cup. Yeah, and I understand people say it's watered down, and the guys that play URC and Champions Cup won't play Currie Cup. But that's now a new stepping stone for the guys coming through, the younger guys coming through. To want to play Currie Cup, to want to play URC, to want to play the Champions Cup, because now that's the process that they have to go through, as go through as a youngster. To play at the highest level now, it's not just South Africa. Now it's the world. So I think that's a pretty good incentive if you're a youngster, and you want to make it, and obviously you want to play for the Springboks one day, to come through Varsity Cup or through club rugby, whatever, play Currie Cup, play URC, Champions Cup. Yeah.
Great stuff.
Maybe just two more questions, Lionel. I was going to say, someone once said you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have the right people to mentor you, that can sort of go to waste. How, from your perspective, how lucky are the youngsters that we have at the Vodacom Bulls to have an experienced mentor like Jake White?
I think they're very lucky. I don't think I had that experience of a coach when I came through. And especially the guys, yes, the guys with a lot of talent and the guys that wants to work. And obviously, Coach Jake is grooming them pretty well. I mean, to come into a new competition the first year, make it to the final. I mean, that says a lot for itself as a manager managing the young guys. And I think obviously a lot of people expectations of us are different because they think now we have to be on top of the world. But it's still they need to understand like sometimes it's still a building process. Yeah, we play good rugby a lot of the times, but we're still learning as we go through the phases. We're still learning. The guys are still learning. The young guys are still learning from the older guys. We have a nice mix of obviously a lot of younger guys, a few older heads. Obviously, just keep them calm. But I mean, if you didn't have a guy like a coach like Jake there, to manage them and manage them well, I mean, yes, I couldn't see any other coach that would take them straight to a final in the first year in international competition.
How do you not get carried away? How do you rein yourselves in?
Uh, we just try to stay in the moment, because it's easy. It's actually easy to get carried away. You just have to be calm, stay in the moment. Do your job because this game can teach you. This game can teach you a lot. One day you can be at the top, next day you can be at the bottom. So it's just for us for me as a player to just try to keep a cool head, and just like go day by day, week by week, game by game.
And maybe if we just speak about playing rugby during this time of the season, how strange is it to be playing rugby during the holiday season? Also, surely everybody sees the benefits of actually playing rugby. It makes sense, right? Or is it just me? In the sense that you've got people who are sitting at home on holiday mode and they're looking for entertainment. What better way than to go to Loftus Park and see rugby?
That's why we had
Yeah.
to entertain people. Yeah, but it's quite different. Obviously, we have to get used to it now because we're playing in a new competition. Our families have to get used to it. We have to get used to getting maybe 2 days off over a Christmas period or one day off over like the festive period. So yeah, it's a different. It's that mind switch that we as players have to make. I think the other years now the guys were sitting on a beach somewhere, having a beer. Now it's quite different. Now you have to make that switch. I mean, there's social media. You see people on holiday, and you have to drive into work. So that's really something. But yeah, we are professional rugby players. We get paid to do our job. So we just come and put our best foot forward. We train, and then obviously be the how can I put it? Be the activity for the weekend for the people that are on holiday.
Sure. Um, I wanna get your thoughts and comments on Cornell returning to the South African uh, playing group. How special was it for you as someone who's close to him? He's your roommate whenever you guys are traveling. How special was it to see him back within the South African camp?
No, very very special. Obviously, personally, I thought that he should have been there a long time ago. Personally, I thought that he should have been there like a long time ago. He's been playing good rugby for the past 2 or 3 seasons. But the other day I also just told him that just don't worry what other people say. You just keep your head out and just do what you do because he's been doing really well. And obviously he got rewarded with the SAA call up, and I was so chuffed for him. I told that to him, and like I was happy, look like I was playing, and I watched him in both games he played. So yeah, no, it's just like warms my heart to see things like that, happen. Especially to friends of mine, and that say, I mean, he's never too old. I mean, me and him are the same age, and he still can produce very good rugby. So like he said to me, I told him he's a good player, and he told me he's a great player, and I said good attitude. So
As someone who's watched him return to rugby and now see him getting rewarded, what do you think is maybe one or two things that makes him such a special player to be playing with, as well as a special player that South Africa potentially has going into a World Cup year?
No, his work ethic, obviously his experience, is to say the least. He has loads of experience, and his work ethic. He always wants to work, and he always wants to help. And he's there to help. So that in itself speaks a lot. The stuff he does off the field, the type of person he is, and he does the job on the field, as you can see, week in and week out, no matter where they play him. So his mentality, his head is in the right place, and obviously there's probably a lot of other battles that he's fighting that none of us know about. But when he comes on there on the field, and he just gives everything.
Finally, we are moving end of 2022 into the new year, New Year's resolutions and all that new year, new me. Do you have anything on your New Year's resolutions list in terms of your game that you say this is what I want to focus on going into 2023?
To be honest, I just want to stay consistent as a player. I want to be consistent in my performances, positive performances. Helping my team win games. Because in the next couple of weeks, it's about like getting those wins to get into the playoffs in both the competitions. And the Currie Cup also starts soon, so there's going to be a lot of player movement up and down. So just for me, it's being consistent in my performances. Contributing to the team, and making the playoffs. So I'm really looking forward to making the playoffs again in the new season.
Actually, now that you touch on earlier, you spoke about the Currie Cup, and there's negative sentiment around the Currie Cup being on a Wednesday, but actually in football, you have premium competitions being played on a Wednesday. Um, then there's also a Heineken Champions Cup playing, then the continuation of the Vodacom United Rugby Championship. There's plenty of rugby to be played. For
No, there's
everybody.
plenty of rugby to play. I mean, everybody's going to be busy. I think from February, March. Yeah, everybody's going to be busy. So obviously a lot of players that are not getting their chances now will get a lot of chances in the coming weeks, and that's what we have. We train for that. We train for that moment when the coach says, "Okay, you're up," then you have to come up and perform. So you always have to be ready for that.
Cool. Finally, your New Year's festive message to South Africa.
It's still festive season. You guys are probably enjoying the holidays. Just be safe. Don't drink and drive. Enjoy it with your families. Have fun.
Lunga?
Yes.
Sorry,
Go for
one
it.
last one, if I may. Your beard and everything is already turning grey. So you've you've experienced may I call it the previous professional era and today's. How different is it, and how difficult is it to adapt to the new era?
To say it's different. Obviously, the players are different. The guys are coming on now. I think the guys are more. I won't say not open-minded. I don't know what's the right word, but back then it was physical. Now the guys they're looking much bigger. It's also physical, and it's fast-paced. I think back then they used to focus on your bigger players and bigger players to play for the Springboks. Now you see a different kind of player running out for the Springboks, where size doesn't actually matter at the moment. So it's different. It's different in that sense, where now I have to run around with the youngsters, and I have to still keep the pace up, keep that endurance up. So the game is definitely a little bit faster. Obviously it's evolving every year. It's a much faster, I would say, than the previous era. Yeah, and it's opening up actually for the younger guys, or the guys that are not so heavy on the foot like myself. Or, I'm a bit heavy, but the guys are not so heavy. The light-footed guys, yeah, to play some rugby, and then that's exciting, man.
But the demands on you, not physically but also mentally, has it increased a lot, or do you think it's more or less the same?
No, yeah, definitely. Obviously, back then we didn't play a lot of rugby like we did now. Now it's a different situation. Now uh, the guys play week in and week out, and if you get to play every week, you get dried out. I mean, that's why the coach. That's why we have a big group, and that's why the coach manage the guys, give the guys game time here, rest the guys 1 week here, rest them 2 weeks here, and I think that's the whole plan. There's a lot of rugby. The guys have to be mentally tough because we're going to get tested obviously in the coming weeks with a new competition as well. So mentally, it's also a different challenge, a bigger challenge, I would say.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lionel, have you found a difference in playing against Super Rugby teams and playing against European teams? How have you found that competition?
Obviously, Super Rugby was physical. They was physical and fast. I think also there's quite a big difference where technically there's a big difference with how the guys kick. Super Rugby, the guy, you get your top teams that obviously has that kicking game that everybody's talking about, and the kicking games is suddenly it's much more important than the running game. Now, we play against the teams that are tactically very good, especially like the guys in Ireland, the guys in France. Uh, it poses a different threat. The aerial ball now, where in Super Rugby there wasn't such a big thing. Now it's suddenly you have to win the aerial competition. In Super Rugby you had the New Zealand teams running from everywhere on the field. Now I'm not saying other teams can't do that, but now the guys are playing more tactically, field position and so on. It poses a different challenge, I think, to the Super Rugby. But it's exciting for us all as well, because now we get both sides. We get the running side and we get the kicking side of it, which obviously hopefully in the future will be a good round product for us, going forward, in developing.
Has the change been exciting for you as a player? Playing in the URC, playing in Heineken Champions Cup.
I'm yet to make my debut in Heineken Champions Cup, but yes, playing in the URC, I feel there's no easy games. Every week is gonna be tough. It's not a team you can say, okay, I'm gonna put a 50 on this team this week. So physicality is always up there. The teams can speed up play. But I'm excited for it, man. I can still do it. I have still got a couple of good years left in these ankles and knees, so I'm still enjoying it.
Okay, now we can let you go for real. Thanks, Carl.
Thank
Cheers,
you so
Carl.
much. Enjoy. Bye-bye.
Cheers, bye.